Hello Rage Cutters, this is Greg's, and yes, another Killing Floor 3 video. Tripwire out at IGN Live today, and they've literally just finished their spot on the stage, so let's take it away.
Alright everyone, welcome to the special IGN Live panel featuring Killing Floor 3, the next installment in the iconic action co-op horror genre series. To chat all about it, please join me in welcoming Killing Floor 3's creative director, Brian Wynia. Hey, Brian. Welcome back. Brian, thank you so much for joining me again at IGN Live for the second year in a row. Before we get started, I heard we have a clip to show the audience what the team at Tripwire has been working on since we last spoke.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, the team's been very busy, and you know what? Instead of hearing me ramble about it, let's just show it to you.
Let's check out this Dev Diary.
Ah, Dev Diary. It's been a while. Cool. So the HUD looks the same as before, the redesign, which is good. I'm not sure how much has changed. Can't see anything obvious. Let's go, keep going.
What happens if Horzine essentially went unregulated? What if it was this awful company but really successful?
I love this music. It's proper synth. Really nice.
And there was no checks and balances, and they only continued to grow in power. So instead of it being this post-apocalyptic world where people are just barely hanging on in society, we found it to be a little bit more interesting to go dystopian.
So it's interesting. So I think this is old footage because unless Brian's miraculously grown a beard overnight. But yeah, it must be old sort of dev footage spliced with the latest build, which is interesting.
The dystopian, monolithic, brutalist shape language of Horzine, and take that shape language into Zeds.
That's cool.
I've got a lot of history with the game, from
Loving the relights.
working with Killing Floor 1 to working with Killing Floor 2, coming from the community and understanding what made those games special. The jump to number 3 now is significantly more than from
City
1
streets
to
in the
2.
dark,
A lot
amazing.
more interaction with the levels themselves. We're thinking of ways for the player to use the environment to their advantage more, give the player more opportunity
That's
to
brutal.
do things that will affect the outcome, and give them opportunities to try it a different way the next time they play that same map again.
There are quite a few challenges, especially around music. We're trying
One of my least favourite weapons, the engineer's beam. But, you know, it might have changed the last time we played.
to figure out how to update music.
Classic
have
Zeg
it
time.
be a dynamic music system so it feels more scored, but still kind of maintain that metal driving
That was
thing
awesome.
that people expect out of Killing Floor.
I think that's offices. Is it offices? Could be wrong.
Really helps convey to the player that sense of dread, that sense of intensity, helping you, you know, your heart race.
Oh,
We were really lucky we were able to hire
nice
Rocky
relight there.
as a full-time composer for Killing Floor 3. He scores a lot of horror movies. He just nails it, and he's also a metal musician. He was the drummer in Evanescence, and he's just kind of amazing. We definitely try and keep with natural sounds, like animal sounds, creature sounds, but also layering in, you'll often layer in rock speed.
I think they've got the performance looking better as well. It does look a lot smoother.
Brush and kind of gated
Old
in
MP6
with
that.
the voice so that we can get these aggressive qualities or clicky qualities, but still based on something
Yeah,
that
Sid
was
Time's looking a lot better.
originally created by air moving past vocal cords.
Awful.
I think we should know from Tripwire by now. We want
Old Alan.
to play that game and enjoy playing that game.
Well,
for
Alan's
as
not
long as
old.
possible.
He's not old really, is he?
Post-launch support, there should be a lot.
Look at that.
Everything we release
Ooh,
with the game, we should be able to expand on
Nice.
and provide more of. That should be more enemy types.
what the?
That That should be more enemy types.
What is that? Alright. That's very interesting.
Really lucky we were able to hire Rocky Gray as a full-time composer for Killing Floor 3. He scores a lot of horror movies. He just nails it. And he's also a metal musician. He was the drummer in Evanescence, and he's just kind of amazing.
Yeah, music is kick-ass.
Definitely try and keep with natural sounds, like
I love the lighting in this place. Looks very cool.
animal sounds, creature sounds, but also layering in. You'll often layer in rocks being crushed and kind of gate it in with the voice so that we can get these aggressive qualities, clicky qualities, but still based on something that was originally created by air moving past vocal cords.
I love these Stalker. Sorry, the Sirens new redesign.
We want you to play that game and enjoy playing that game.
It's like a forest. It's like a forest. Try not to go back too far.
These clicky qualities, but still based on something that
Interesting.
was originally created by air moving past vocal cords.
So messed up.
As people should know from Tripwire by now, we want you to
Post-launch content subject to change. Yeah, it looks like a forest. That's really cool.
play that game and enjoy playing that game for as long as possible.
Blood over the weapons.
Post-launch support, there should be a lot. For everything.
It's like a Heckler and Koch, I think it is. Same as the one in Killing Floor 2's command SWAT, I think.
Thing we
Very
released
nice.
with
Old Winchester, by the look of it. Yeah.
the game, we should be able to expand on.
Shotgun.
Provide
Nice. That's so cool.
That should be more.
Some mocap going on, so they are mocapping stuff, which is good. It's good to see. What the hell that is, though? Could it be the Stalker?
Enemy types.
That? Super agile, whatever it is. I've got a feeling that's a Stalker, you know. That's very alien-like, isn't it? Wow. Muscly legs, Jesus. Got some sort of support. Like ankle support braces on the feet. That's interesting. The claws as well as the alien-like flare face. She's got interesting
More
pair of assets as well. Interesting. Wow, look at this. I think this is the jungle, isn't it?
more environment.
Wow. So this is obviously concept art. We've got some stuff over here. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that a skull at the top left? I think it is, isn't it? Interesting. Yeah, got a scully there. Got a ninja, medic, firebug, Foster, sharpshooter.
It's a lot of the little
Look at that.
details that we've added to just really sharpen the experience and just really make it smooth and slick.
Not sure what map this is.
Hella fun to kill these genetic freaks.
And that's the Firebug's Tier 4 weapon. It's like almost the equivalent of the Husk cannon from KF2. Oh yeah. Nice.
Right. Brian, there was so much to dive into in that Dev Diary. Help me break it down. One of the first things we learned about is the dystopian setting for the environments. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so like what does dystopia mean in Killing Floor 3? I think a lot of zombie games go post-apocalyptic. We wanted to provide something new for you guys, right? Like what makes the world of Killing Floor different from other wave-based shooters? I don't know if you guys are as nerdy as some of us at
Got to remember as well, Killing Floor has been doing this a long time before other games started doing it. So they're kind of the granddaddy of horde-based shooters, which is why they've had so much backlash on the beta, because the stuff that we try to change just didn't really need to be changed, really, did it? But I think I can't blame him for wanting to try something different. You know, stuff the formula tends to get old after a while, but it's obviously what works with Killing Floor. So yeah.
Tripwire, but like they're not zombies, they're Zeds. They're these bioengineered weapons, right?
This guy on the left is obviously a huge fan. I think he did last, I can't believe it's been a year already. He did last year's IGN panel as well, so he's obviously a fan.
So like, what are the choices we're making as developers to kind of reinforce those ideas? And going dystopian is something that we just found a little bit more interesting. Like, Horzine isn't crumbling. If anything, Horzine is succeeding, right? So they're making these awesome bioengineered weapons, and we play as this team as Nightfall, trying to kind of tear this group down.
Now, the game's first large free seasonal update is going to focus on adding a lot of real-world weapons.
Yeah.
How do you leverage that, that real-world element with this sort of near-future dystopian setting?
Yeah, so that's something working with our community that we heard you guys really wanted real-world weapons. And that's something that we always had plans for, but like really listening to you guys just helped elevate the priority of those things. We were very fortunate to go to a gun range and use a variety of different guns. MP5 is a really wild experience to use. And being able to bring those to a near future isn't really that wild, because if you look at like modern day weaponry, there's versions of certain guns that were out during World War II that we're using variations of them today. So even the near future guns we have in the game, like our MP5, it's an MP6. Right? Like, it's just that slight elevation of it. But as you saw at the end there are some very real world, based in reality, that it's our goal to bring you the best real world versions of those guns in Killing Floor 3.
Cool.
All right, yeah, people seem very excited about that. Now, obviously, there is also an element of customization with these weapons, specifically through mods. Can you tell us about how you can sort of like change these weapons to fight back against these like futuristic killer machines?
Yeah, so it's all about choice, right? Like, I like to play a sharpshooter. I want to do big damage from a distance. I ADS a lot. I don't shoot from the hip, so the mods that I craft and I apply to my guns reflect those play styles. So some of the team, they like to shoot from the hip a lot. They might want to focus on healing their teammates. They might want to do different ammo types. These mods give players to use these guns in the way that they want.
Yeah, I like to use all those. I like to experiment.
Also, you kind of really need to focus on them, because you can also level these mods up. I've been testing Hell on Earth a lot recently.
About bloody time, Brian. Get your shit sorted.
And if you're not leveling up your skills and you're not leveling up your mods, God rest your souls.
Yeah, you're going to have a bad time. Now, we have 8 full maps at launch. The newest one takes place in a Japanese spillway. Can you talk to me a little bit about how that came to be?
8 maps.
Yeah, so we always knew that we wanted to do a sewers map, right? Like, it's just very classic, quintessential Killing Floor. It's also just like a really dirty, shitty, grimy place that we want you to feel uncomfortable in that space. We take a lot of inspiration from various horror movies. So like when we start a new map, we might look at a particular movie. We really enjoyed Guillermo del Toro's Mimic, so we took a ton of inspiration from that. Also, I'm going to kind of probably date myself here. We took inspiration from the film Chud. If you haven't seen Chud yet, there you go.
Yeah, Chud fans in the audience.
Yeah, yes. We won't turn this into a full Chud panel, but there was definitely a lot of Chud watching. I will say that I think it is the unofficial prequel to Home Alone. I'll let you guys figure that out. But yeah, just looking at that reference, and then we also knew that we wanted outbreaks to happen across the globe. So in Killing Floor 3, Horzine is relocated to the US, and a lot of the outbreaks are happening there in the US, but like after launch, what's happening in Europe and what's happening in these other places of the country where Horzine is affecting. So this map allows us to kind of jump over to Japan.
That's really cool. Got a lot more variation with the maps then. I like it. Be cool to get one in West London again. That would be amazing. I'd love to see a West London remake, or a manor, or offices, or some of the classic Killing Floor 1 or 2 maps would be amazing remade in Killing Floor 3.
Try something there.
All right. And now there is, of course, all these different environments. There's a lot of environmental storytelling. That's kind of like how you mainly get the narrative for Killing Floor.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about how you guys went about doing that and what sort of things we should be looking out for?
Yeah, so for us, narrative in Killing Floor is passive, right? Meaning that we want you focused on killing monsters with your friends, but we also want you guys to understand what you're doing and why you're there. If you guys are looking at our socials, looking at what our team is updating, we just put out a video focusing on city streets.
Oh, yeah.
It's basically just this ambient fly-through of the map, and you hear sirens, and you hear gunshots, and you hear like radio chatter. That is actually what is in-game. So metal music is a massive part of Killing Floor, but also if you take that music slider when you're playing the game and just drop it, that's what you hear when you play City Streets. There's other maps that will have little kind of radio chatter that are kind of hinting at what the future outbreak might be, even some potential future enemies. So there was a few spoilers there. Did we get the internet to sign an NDA for that? Because we definitely spoiled a lot there.
Well, I guess speaking of spoilers, Horzine has been very hard at work making some seriously gross, horrible, just like grotesque-looking monstrosities. Can you talk to me about their design philosophy when coming up with the Zeds?
Yeah, so we actually have some of our monster makers out in the audience. We have an incredibly talented team of concept artists and creature designers working at the studio. I feel really privileged to be able to make this game with them. When making guns, creatures, the world, in general, it's basing things on reality. So like you saw the close-up of the crawler in that video. That's one of my favorite designs in the game. It was taking that original idea and looking at various types of arachnids, looking at alligators, and kind of combining these things and just being a mad scientist and presenting you guys with the most disgusting challenges that a player can face.
Now, last year, we were on this very same stage.
Can't believe it's been a year already. I know I've just said that, but time is just slipping by. My God.
At the end of the trailer, we saw the Impaler.
We did.
You and I got to play a little bit last week, and we got into a boss fight, and we got 3 Impalers at the same time. They all launched at us. We immediately died. What can players expect from boss fights in Killing Floor 3?
It felt aggressive. I'll definitely tell you that. Like,
I have to say we've wiped a couple of times during the beta, the last beta that was released. We had 3 Impalers on Hell on Earth, and they are quite a challenge. When there's only 2 of them, maybe not so much, but when there's 3 on Hell on Earth, it's quite a challenge. So,
we're like, oh, hey, check it out. Here's the Impaler. And then we both were instantly nuked. Like, instantaneously. Players can expect to really need the opportunity to work with each other, because I think you and I were off on our own when we died, and the rest of our team is like, I don't think you guys want to be in that area. So I would say this. When you're fighting bosses, when you're fighting these Zeds, each one of them is their own unique challenge. We're giving you guys a bunch of tools, from weapon mods, gadgets, tools. These are all ways for you guys to kind of handle these challenges. Like you saw the fan trap getting turned on. That thing is fantastic for just like clearing out a room. Or you see the ninja perk gadget, where it's kind of this like grappling hook that you can shoot into a crowd.
One of my favorites.
We're going to challenge you, but we're also going to give you tools to kind of handle these challenges. So maybe next time you and I will try to go near a fan trap or throw out a bunch of, like shock traps or something like that.
Yeah, we got to switch up the strategy 100%. Now, something that always gets me excited about games like Killing Floor 3 is the soundtrack. What sort of details can you give me about Killing Floor 3's music and how it's helped set the tone?
So we're very fortunate, as you guys saw in the Dev Diary, Mark Moraski, our audio director, he brought on Rocky Gray, and Rocky Gray is our in-house composer. I've never had an opportunity like this before, where I'll just like message Rocky and be like, hey, I really like this song, or I really like this is the vibe we're looking for. And he's like, okay, got it. And like an hour later, just this like banger comes over Slack, and I'm like, yes, please, more of that. So yeah, we're just very fortunate that we have this really talented team to kind of help create music that keeps you guys motivated while you're playing the game, but it also sets the tone of what you're doing in the world, right?
It has got some banging tunes, I must say. It'd be cool if they bought some more tracks in from the last 2 games. That'd be really nice. Be a nice little break from the sort of normal stuff you get in the sort of bass soundtrack. Be mix things up a bit. That'd be really nice. Not to say the music's bad, just saying it'd be nice to mix things up a bit.
So we just wanted oozing with action and horror, motivating you, but also kind of scaring the shit out of you as well.
Yeah. All right, now we are just a little, around a month away from launch, July 24th. what can players expect once launch comes around?
So when launch comes around, you guys have seen a bunch of the stuff that's going to be there, but the big thing I want to say is launch is just the beginning, right? Killing Floor 2 has been supported for an incredibly long time. You've seen more guns, more maps, more features, more modes added to it.
Although the quality did drop off towards the end, but you know, I hope that's not the case with KF3. I hope it's consistent across the board until the end of the game's lifespan, hopefully.
So we've got a really solid launch for you guys with a variety of maps, variety of weapons, variety of enemies to fight. But as you saw at the end of that video, like, we're teasing new Zeds, we're teasing new weapons, we're teasing new locations.
That was the ultimate tease. I'm not sure what it is. To me, it looked like maybe some sort of Stalker variant of something. I don't know. But it'd be interesting to see. Can't wait.
Our team is literally, right now, literally as we're sitting here talking, working on new content for you guys that you'll be seeing post-launch. So just know that launch is just the beginning.
Cool.
Brian, thank you so much for joining me again here on the IGN live stage. Before we go, I hear we have one more thing to show the audience.
Oh, we do. I hope there's no children in the audience.
I think we're clear.
We're going to give you, like, you saw a little bit about what it takes to make the game. You guys have seen a few dev diaries, but one of our developers, Ed, one of our audio engineers, is going to give you a very candid look of what it takes to make the sound of one of these horrible monstrosities. You guys will never look at mustard the same way again.
Let's check it out.
I'm a sound designer at Tripwire Interactive. I create sounds for weapons, attacks, and environments in Killing
Looks a bit of a nutty professor.
Floor 3. But my favorite creations are
Nice.
Today I'm going to show you exactly what it takes to make the voice of a foul and twisted monstrosity we call the Meyer cyst. Mustard.
Mustard?
Oh, God.
Perseverance.
Gotta keep going.
2 lunches.
Oh, that was real.
And repetition.
God, that is awful.
Thank you for joining me today. I hope you found this video enlightening.
Disturbing.
There's a man dedicated to his craft. GG. Oh, God. My God, that was disturbing. Very cool.
Killing Floor 3 is coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series consoles, and PC via Steam and the Epic Store on July 24th, 2025. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for watching. And for all things Killing Floor 3, keep it locked to IGN.
Thank you, guys.
Nice. Nice one. That was really good. Well, there you go. That's the IGN Live Killing Floor 3 developer panel with a nice little dev diary to mix things up. I'm looking forward to it even more now. Can't wait till 24th of July. Hopefully there'll be a beta in between. Time will tell. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the reaction and the breakdown. I'll just hope look at Mustard the same way again for a while, tell you. God. So if you like this, give us a like, thumbs up, thumbs down. If you didn't like it, drop us a note, what you think, and hit that subscribe button. We're close to 2,000 subscribers as usual, so yeah. Cheers, bye.